Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 7 harmless American words Brits might find rude. I have no idea what words they'll be here. I'll probably, like, when I get into this video and they're mentioned, I'll realise, oh, I didn't know that meant that, or I've just questioned it before. But I don't know what words I'm expecting to sort of see going into this video, but we're going to go in and check this out. Hopefully going to enjoy. Links also in the description to my Patreon, where you can see reactions to films that I can't post obviously to YouTube. Just reacted to The Truman Show, and there's a lot of classic film reactions on there, and there's more to come in the future, and you can suggest stuff on there as well. But links are there for those interested. If not, we're going to check this out and see some of these words that I might find rude. I'm trying to think of one, but I can't. So let's check this out.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to perfectly harmless words that sound rude to the other country. In part 1 of this 2-part series, I looked at 7 British words that, when spoken aloud, might sound utterly filthy to my American viewers. Well, in this video, we're going to flip that idea on its head and take a look at 7 American words that absolutely shocked the bejesus out of me when I first moved to the United States. And so, if innuendo is something that you can't live without and you haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, do that now.
Come on is a bit of an innuendo, really. I say that a lot. A bit of an innuendo if you've got a dirty mind. I don't know.
In the meantime, here are 7 completely harmless American words and phrases that might sound positively dirty to the British.
Hump day. I'm going to assume a hump day is when you're in a mood. You've got the hump, but I don't know.
Number 1, Hump Day. And my British viewers might be thinking, Hump Day? Is that a particular day of the year in which Americans decide to
Valentine's Day
have a little bit of how's your father? And the answer to that is no, it isn't one day. This is a weekly occurrence. And you're probably thinking, Lawrence, that's why America had such a large post-war population boom. But the truth is, most of us aren't going at it like rabbits. Well, most of you anyway. Because Hump Day is not some predetermined baby-making festivity. It is, I discovered, a euphemism for a particular day of the week. And that day is Wednesday. In fact, the context under which I first heard about this phrase took...
Wednesday is probably the most, like, the day of the week that it's just like there, right? Like Monday is the most depressing day. You go back to school or college or work or whatever it is. Tuesday, you're getting back into the swing of things. Wednesday is just Tuesday, but just a bit further along. Thursday, you're like, okay, we're getting closer to the weekend. Friday is like, yeah, this is the best day. But then Saturday's even better. Sunday's fun, and then it's a bit depressing because you're like, oh, I'm going back to doing all this stuff. But Wednesday, there's a humps for like a Wednesday. I don't really understand why Wednesday. It's a bit of an irrelevant day, but we'll see.
Took place on a Wednesday when an American colleague of mine mysteriously observed, Lawrence, we're over the hump. Well, you might be, Colton, but I'm not, and I never will be. But what he explained was that we're over the hump, meaning the middle of the week. And so now you're probably thinking, Lawrence, what is the story with that? And don't ask me that question right now. Instead, here is me 2 seconds from now with an answer. The term hump day appears to have originated in the United States during the 20th century. However, sources from the 1950s seem to suggest it was first used to describe the midpoint of a training course. By the 80s, presumably because a training course might typically span Monday to Friday, that meaning had evolved to mean Wednesday and not National Rumpy Pumpy Day.
Fanny pack. I mean, I know what a fanny pack is. It's the little bag, right? But yeah, fanny.
Funnily enough, not every entry on this list.
Does anyone say fanny in the US? People don't really say fanny in the UK. It's a bit of an old sort of term. And I'll sort of say it as a joke to be vulgar, but I don't actually like say it seriously. But I feel like maybe some older people would do. I don't know.
Came to my attention after I moved to the United States. Some, like fanny pack, were an eye-opening feature of my visit to the United States as a child. In fact, when I visited Florida in 1990, the fanny pack was at the peak of its powers. As I trotted my way around Disney World, it seemed that 50% of the tourists were wearing one, including myself. But there was a reason that I found this entire experience confusing, and not just because I was being chased by Goofy, but also because back in Britain, a fanny pack is known as a bum bag, which is also positively dirty. But to us, not as dirty as fanny pack. You see, back in Britain, fanny, in addition to being a woman's name, is also a euphemism for a woman's So it just begs the question, why does this travel bag sound so utterly crass on either side of the pond? Back over to Lawrence from 2 seconds from now with more or less. Although the bag was intended to be worn at the front, its occasional use at the back is what prompted its name in both Britain and America. Just as the term bum means a person's behind in the former, so does fanny in the United States.
Wait, so a fanny in the US is someone's bum? What? Wait, is that what he's saying?
Thanks, Lawrence. So Americans don't use the word bum, or do they?
Bum.
Well, actually, yes. But the word bum in the context of arse was long ago replaced here by the word butt. Instead, Americans might use the word bum to describe a lazy or a homeless person, which itself presents quite a cultural shock because the last thing that you want to do when discussing...
Oh, okay, I can see that. There's a fighter that I watch. He calls other fighters bums a lot. He's like, "You're a bum." Like, yeah, I guess I can sort of see that actually. I feel like people sort of use that here as well. It's not really commonly used, but I'd say it's be used in phrases sometimes, maybe.
Which itself presents quite a cultural shock because the last thing that you want to do when discussing the very serious topic of homelessness in the United States is to giggle like a 5-year-old. I explained everything to them and they still won't let me volunteer. And once again, it just raises the question, what are the origins of this derogatory term? Well, earlier today I took a deep dive into bum. While it is possible that the American use of bum was partly influenced by its British equivalent, it is in fact a shortening of bomber, a 19th century noun brought over from Germany meaning an idle person. Indeed, bummer was popular Civil War slang among Union soldiers and may have spread due to the influence of the 200,000 German immigrants who served. So Americans do use the word bum, and in fact things go a little deeper, honestly.
Bum rush.
Okay, firstly, Britannica gives this as an example of how to use bum rush. They bum rushed him from behind.
Whoa.
Now, you're new to the country.
Pause. What?
You hear that as a news headline, what are your first thoughts? Because to me, even if I were to tell you the least rude thing that comes to mind, it would probably be something like, he was given a wedgie. But that isn't where my mind actually goes. You know where my mind actually goes. But amazingly, against all odds, this is not an innuendo. Bum rush means to attack somebody or something in a forceful or violent way. And so now I'm deeply curious as to how we arrived at this state of affairs. Back to research, Lawrence, again. Like myself, the phrase bum rush appears to be a product of the 1980s. However, it is derived from an earlier 20th century expression, bums rush, which, in a not-so-nice callback to our previous word, meant the forcible ejection of a bum or vagrant from an establishment. I thought we'd take a moment to acknowledge the name of a restaurant which, while not containing any rude words, still somehow sounds like it is one. And that restaurant is Fuddruckers. When I first encountered that restaurant, my initial thought was, that sounds like a good word to use when I'm frustrated. As in, oh, Fuddruckers, I got demonetized for making a video about rude words. And when I posted about it on Twitter the other day, it turns out that some of my American followers might have similar thoughts. Indeed, I used the World Wide Web to get answers as to how Fuddruckers became a thing. As ever, the internet is rife with various explanations for the name, including one that's hard to substantiate, that the company's founder wanted to name the restaurant Mother but was voted down on the grounds that it was not only obscene, but could invite legal action from existing food company Mother Tuckers. But the real reason appears to have nothing to do with food or shagging. It is thought to be a play on Fuddpucker World Airlines, a completely made-up aviation company. This airline was known among aviation enthusiasts as a spoof of 20th century flight firsts. Like a lot of satire on the internet today, the spoof could quite easily be taken as real, were it not for its telltale captions. These included around the world since it was square, and the world's only steam-powered airline. And Fuddruckers is not the only company that made me pause for thought, with special mentions for Jiffy Lube and the Midwestern Convenience
Jiffy Lube? I don't like the name of that. That's a weird name.
Store. Come and go.
Double fist.
This is one of the
Hey, yo, okay, what are we getting into now?
those phrases that you can't believe is not rude in any way whatsoever.
Double
and if I have to point
fisting.
out why that is, you've lived a very sheltered life and I congratulate you. And the most shocking thing for me was I first heard this phrase during a work lunch when Roy from accounts said, look at Colton double fisting again. Sorry, what? He's double fisting, doubled down Roy from accounts. It means to carry a drink in both hands.
Okay, I mean, yeah. I see it, it's in your fists, kind of, yeah.
Oh, Oh, right. And you're telling me that nobody else is thinking what I'm thinking? No? Well, our university days were much different then. Anyway, I never did go on another lunch break with that lot. In fact, you might say, inexplicably, that I did this.
I blew them off. Okay. What are we getting into now? Are you trying to tell us something?
I've lived in the United States for 15 years, and even to this day, when I hear the phrase he or she blew me off, my face twitches.
Is that like not a phrase that when people say it in the US, you'll get like a little smirk though? Surely, because surely people know like I don't know the funny side to that phrase. Blew me off.
Because in Britain, a lot of our innuendo ends with the word off, such as having it off or copping off. So
or come off it or something like that, which sounds a bit.
logically, to us, to blow somebody off means to... I'm not finishing that sentence. Suffice to say, my British viewers might still be confused. So to allay that confusion, in the United States, to blow somebody off means a failure to meet that person despite prior arrangements to do so. In other words, you were stood up, which is not itself a euphemism.
My position.
Well, if I've learned anything from these videos...
I thought this was a phrase. My position after blue... Okay.
It is that my Aunt Cynthia is very sensitive, but also that we must be careful in the words that we use. While it's...
I'm American. I went to a place in Australia with Australians to watch rugby. I don't know any of the teams, so I jokingly said, I'm just going to root for the team that you guys aren't. That got a bigger laugh than I thought it would. Rooting in America means cheering, which I sort of understand that. I didn't know in Australia having a root means sex. What? I didn't know that either. We can't talk about the British cigarettes without getting banned. That's very true. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. 3-letter word. That's actually hilarious. See, that word now, that's going to be a word that you just can't say, can you? Most likely. I just assume in the current day and in the future, it's just going to be banned, which is crazy, but I guess that's just where we're at, right? Bum also means to borrow or to ask for something, as in, hey, can I bum a cigarette off you? Wait, what? Oh, is that true? Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. I guess that's a quotation from a film or something. Imagine asking your friend named Randy the same question, except pairing it with British slang for a cigarette. Can I bum a fag? I've said it now. Oh, for God's sake. This comment section is good though. I enjoy this one. Hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. And that's pretty much it. Until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.